Hi everyone, Tristan here from Machine Control Australia. Welcome to an MCA tutorial on mastering references and locking on the Making 3D system. Hi, so today we're going to be talking about references and locking. So first off, take a look at the references in normal operation. So if we take a look here on the screen, we can see our height reference coming from the top surface here, and then for our line reference, it's going to the closest line. The closest line is back here, right there. Alright, if we come across to our cut and fill screens, we can see up here we've got our height of 2.19 meters coming down to this surface, and then the side reference is coming back down to that line. If we come down here, you can see our side reference is 1.91 meters away, and then it's coming back towards us. Okay, now if I move the machine, so let's rotate the machine. Alright, you'll see these references, because they're live, move. See that one there? Our side reference has dropped below the surface here. That's because the closest line reference is now that one there. Alright, if you have two surfaces, one above and one below, your surface will jump to the lowest surface. So if you swing across here, you can see now our height has dropped to that lower surface below. Okay, if we keep moving across, it jumps to the next line, the next line, the next line. Now if I zoom in here on the screen, you can see the line it's jumped to has turned a teal color. See that color there? We keep coming across, so we come across here, it jumps over to this side, we'll see it changes to teal. Alright, so that's in normal operation. Alright, so normal operation, your height and your side references are going to be changing all the time and moving to their closest reference point. Okay, let's get started. So let's head down to the layers icon. If we head down to the bottom left hand side of the screen, we'll see the layers icon. We open that up, we can see all the different layers of the project here. Just close that one up there. You can see we've got this organized in folders. If you open the folders and then open subfolders, you're able to find the lines and surfaces. We come back up the top here, we have the eye, the white eye. That is for our visibility of our layers. We've then got the teal or blue horizontal references, the green vertical references, and then over here we've got our alerts icon. We can tap the symbols at the top of each column, and that will turn on or off all of the references for that category. So for instance, if we hit the eye here, alright, it's turned off the visibility and all of your layers. So if we come out here and we take a look, there's no visibility. It doesn't look like the project's loaded at all. We come back down to our layers icon in the bottom corner. We turn the visibility back on. We can now see the project's loaded again. Notice that there is no referencing for your vertical or your horizontal references. Okay, that's because all of our references are still turned off. See, there's your horizontal references and your vertical references. Now we've turned them back on, we can see them again. Alright, if we come back down here to our references icon, you can also turn these off individually. So if we want to turn off just constructions, alright, we can turn off the visibility for constructions. Alright, we have a look here, you'll notice that the bridge on this side has disappeared. Okay, if we come back here and turn it back on, you'll see that it comes back. Now the bridge is back there, it's part of the constructions icon. If we move on to our horizontal references, okay, so our horizontal references, alright, if I was to turn off the horizontal references, you'll notice that on the machine it no longer has one. Alright, so if that ever happens to you, just make sure you come in and turn on your references. For your vertical references tend to come from a surface, but it can come from lines and points. And if we scroll across here, we can see at the moment it's coming off the surface here for the ground there, and our reference point is that line in the corner for our horizontal. Alright, open this back up. Lastly, we have avoidance zones. Okay, so avoidance zones can be set up using the as-built data You could use it for things like overhead power lines or recently installed underground services directly from the model supplier. Let's have a look at an example. A good example of that is if we put in a warning around our electrical items. Now, these warnings can only be put on lines and points. They can't be put on surfaces. All right, if we have a look at the machine now, if I slew this machine across towards an electrical item, all right, you'll see these red lines have come up. All right, that's indicating where our electrical item is. So if we have a look here on our profile, all right, we can see that red line is indicating where that electrical item is. If I keep coming across, all right, so now I'm over the top of it. It has now come up and told me I'm too close, 1.9 meters. If I continue to get close to that, it will come up with a danger warning sign. Turn that off, come up, I'm going to turn off the selection, and it goes away. Alright, so Making can handle many active references at once. As you move the tool, it automatically switches between the nearest reference. Alright, now with so many references on screens, it can be tricky to have it just stick to one when you're moving around. Making solves this by having the ability to lock to a reference. And that reference can be a line, a point, or a surface. To focus without turning on and off the actual items, what we can do is we can lock to them. So let's have a look at how we can do that. The first method is to lock to your current item on your screen. Alright, so if we take a look here on the main screen here, we have our information for our current location. We can see height and side reference. Okay, so they're both at the moment measuring from overflate. Alright, so overflate 104 and overflate 104 here. Okay, now you see the two padlocks at the end of each of these items. Alright, if we click the padlock, we can see it's now locked to that height. And if I click the other padlock, it is now locked to that side reference. So if I now slew the machine, you'll see that it stays on that side reference that we originally picked. And for the surface reference, it disappears once we remove from the area. So if we go back and we're back over the surface, you can see it locks back on. Okay, to unlock it, we just go down and press on those two padlocks. 1, 2. All right, now we're back to normal operation. The second method for locking to a reference is on the dig screen. What we can do is we can tap the reference we want to select. So if you have a look over here, I'm going to select this line on the far side. Alright, you see a little window has popped up down the bottom. On that window, we can see our visibility, our horizontal reference, and our vertical reference. But up here is a padlock. We click on this padlock, it's going to give us some options. Now these options are to lock horizontally or side reference, lock to the vertical reference, or lock to both. Alright, so what I might do is I might click the lock to both, and you can see our height and our side reference have now jumped back across to there. Alright, if I then slew the machine a little bit, you can see it continues to keep on that point no matter where we are. There's a few ways to unlock from this position. If we have a look down here in our pop-up window, we can see the two padlocks. Yep. If we click on one of those padlocks, let's say this one here, you'll see now the horizontal lock has been removed and we're now back to our closest reference point. The other way would be just to hit the lock on the main screen. So again, if we look at our current information, height, lock to that 1.1. Right, we come here, if we hit that padlock there, it will unlock that too. Here's the third method to lock to a reference. You can open up your menu, your layers menu. Let's say we know which reference we want to lock to. So let's say we want to lock to the road. Let's say we want to lock to the center line. We can click on the line there. So road, center line. We can select it here. And then you'll notice up the top, there's a padlock, and we can now lock to that, whether it's horizontal, vertical, or both. So if we lock to it horizontally, we click that one. You can see a little padlock has popped up in the horizontal section. Now again, to unlock, you can either click that padlock there on screen, or we can go back to the main menu and click the one down here. Alright, you can see here that our reference point is now coming to the center road of that center of that road. Alright, so if I click that, it'll undo, and we'll see that it moves freely again. Thank you for watching. We hope this video gives you a better understanding of references and locking on Making 3D. Please like and subscribe to see future MCA tutorials.